Well, hello, everyone, and welcome. Welcome to my channel. I'm Reina Creole, of course, bringing you that spice to sci-fi and pop culture analysis. And I always keep it real when it comes to theme parks because I'm not a pixie duster, but I know the power of pixie dust, which is why I always say pixie dust is a hell of a drug. Respect it. And I'm here with one of my favorite Disney theme park live streamers, Ron of Follow the Bradley's Fun. How are you doing, my dear?
I'm bringing that special spice.
That special spice. That special spice.
That special spice. That's the new pixie dust, baby. We're
That
we're gonna
spice.
eliminate because they have to use special spice now because pixie dust comes from a character that's problematic.
Yes, that special spice that we'll say like the penguins in Madagascar. You didn't see anything. I tell you, it's that special spice that people are going to be making all their own jokes about it. But
My gosh. Going down Broccoli Mountain, going down Broccoli Mountain.
mountain going up,
Oh,
and they're just like, "We're gonna make you big again." And we're just like, "We just want to be able to sing. Are you ready? Are you?" Which I did actually start singing going up that way. But folks, yes, Ron and I, thanks to WDW Pro and a cast member who we are extremely grateful to, we got the opportunity to be there plus two for the cast member previews for Tiana's Bayou adventure. So it's been a little touch and go because sometimes the ride has not been working for several hours and some cast members didn't get a chance to ride. And I think when we checked in,
it was
I
down.
think the word was it was down.
Yeah.
I think so. We weren't quite sure. It was like one way or another. We're gonna go on over there and we're gonna go see. So I'm glad we did because the attraction was indeed we'll say it was running. It definitely was running, and Ron and I are going to answer, some questions you may have. We're going to give you our overall impressions of the attraction. Both of us went there together. Both of us rode in the same ride vehicle. Okay, so yes, we're not making this up. We did indeed go, and we've got the receipts to prove it.
That is true.
So let's see. We have got 30. Wow, 30 of you guys here in the chat so far.
Sweet.
Let me go through here real quick and see who we have here. And while I'm clicking through to see who's all here and welcome everyone, please be aware that after this live stream ends, don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere. Ron's point POV video of Tiana's Bayou Adventure is going to be premiering, so you don't need to do anything to stay here. My stream will automatically route you over there to his. My POV video will drop later today. It'll probably drop this evening actually, so you can kick back, enjoy your evening with that. So let's see. Amy Jo Johnson, hey, says can't wait. California Dreamin' says, "Oh my God, I can't wait to hear this."
Oh boy.
Woo! I tell you, it's we can't wait to share it with you.
It's a hot take. It's definitely a hot take.
It's definitely a hot take. And CJ, my thumbnail guy, thank you so very much. He's the one responsible for my killer thumbnails, especially the one that's going to come out for this POV video. Although I did see someone in the chat say that Dengar Renegade, this was your best thumbnail. Well, you can thank CJ for that. Appreciate the heck out of you, my dear. Let's see. Yeah, I know. Check your DMs. That's what happens. I get the DMs from CJ while I'm in the makeup artist chair.
Yeah.
That's what I
My
get.
I was gonna say my thumbnail for our breakdown yesterday was way too nice. It was way too nice. People are gonna be like, It's not controversial, no.
Oh, wait. It's kind of like when you meet people in the South and you'll ask their opinion, depending on who you are, especially if they haven't met you, it'll be tactfully polite. Then if you meet them again, it'll be like, you know what? Now that I had some time to sleep on it, guess what? What I really think. Northman
Yeah.
James, good afternoon. Oh, go ahead, Ron.
Oh no, I was just going to say, I think we've got both planned at least 2 more rides coming up that we have reservations for.
Yes.
If it works out, right? If the ride's up, so our opinions could go up. Our opinions could go in the other direction.
Yes. But let's say we will have been on this attraction enough that by the time it officially opens on the 28th, you get a pretty good holistic review of our thoughts about this attraction. Hey, Melissa Bell says, can't wait to hear your thoughts. Well, we cannot wait to give them to you. Let me tell you. We got Native Hawaiian says, oh, this is going to be interesting. Yo, Reina. Well, yo, and hello. And it certainly will be. Snorter Poopa says, hello, humans and other critters. Hello to the polar bear from Pinellas County. We've got Kathleen Fantuzzi. I keep getting that wrong.
Fantastic. That's my mom.
Fantazzi. Oh, okay.
Hi,
Good
Mom.
afternoon, Lorena. Oh, good to see you, my dear. Always good seeing you. Always good seeing people's moms. I love that. I love that. Q435 says, hey there. Well, hey. And is the ride working today? Ron, have you heard anything? I haven't
I
checked
I
Excel.
haven't heard anything other than up until today, I can say, and we know this from being there yesterday, every single day of the previews, the ride has been down not for minutes, but for hours at a time. Hours each day. So I don't even know the total amount of hours it's actually been up and running, working. Still not properly, by the way. Even when we were on it, the ride was not working properly. It was working, but not. There were issues. We'll get to that.
Yeah, it's been some issues, and as you all know, since I'm an engineer, I'm not giving any quarter. Y'all are going to hear it from all angles from me with regards to the operation and all that. Let's see, we have got Izzo's Place says, woo, just in time, just in time. Yes, indeed. Kevin Stacy says, oh boy. Let's see, we've got OCDD 93 says, Lorena, I watched your video of the Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party last year. We were in the same spot when we went. Oh, was it for the parade or for the fireworks? You're probably thinking the parade. Yeah, that's like the best freaking place. Well, one or two to watch the parade. And yes, I will be back at Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party this year. I will be there for opening night, aka vlogger night. So I'll be there. I'll be there for that. Let's see. We have also got hey DL Fendel question whether many wrong ride, dude. No, we're not right.
I don't even want to know. I don't even want to know how you feel the force now.
I don't know. I don't know. All I know is missed opportunity to have the veggie animatronics from Food Rocks in this attraction. I'm just gonna say total missed opportunity there. So Marie Laveau is taking revenge for Dr. Facilier being left out. That's what I'm gonna go with. That's what I'm gonna go with. For people who do not know, Marie Laveau is she's a historical figure. She was a voodoo priestess. And you have to go see the Marie Laveau Museum and the tours and all that. But yes, I'm going to go with that one. I'm going to go with that one. Yeah, CJ, that may wind up being a future thumbnail because I really do want to talk about that. Robin P, that thumbnail is awesome. Yes. All credit goes to CJ because I can't do thumbnails to save my life, which is why I got him. Hey, Dylan Soup, good to see you. Good to see you. We got Ronan Bunny here. Good to see you. Uh, and a Magic Q3. I know I screwed that up, but it says, I was very happy to meet you briefly at Halloween Horror Nights this past season, Lorena. Well, I'm glad. I'm so glad I got to meet you. I remember that, and yes, I will be back at Halloween Horror Nights this year. I'm waiting for the multi-night tickets to be uh to be announced because you know me, I like to I like to get my money's worth, which is very easy with the multi-night tickets for Halloween Horror Nights. So, can't wait. Cannot wait to go this year. Let's see. I poured milk into my salad this morning before I had a chance to drink some coffee. Now I'm guessing it still wasn't as bad as being on the ride now. Yes, I have coffee. Well, we are gonna talk about that. A black
Ran-
superwoman,
Ranch
Disney put a
dressing is
band-aid on
mostly
the
milk.
gaping wound. Which one?
I said ranch dressing is mostly milk. It's okay.
Yeah, pretty much it is. It is. It's buttermilk, but yeah, it's still got milk in it, so you're good. You're good. You're good. Let's see. John the Beagle Dad, the Reina Creole. Hail, y'all. How is the Acolyte watch party going? I had to pass on the Acolyte. Well, John, if you remember, you can go back and watch the watch party, or you can watch the review video that I dropped. And you get the idea real quickly without having to suffer through it yourself. So Kate F. wasted opportunity to add new ride to the park. Yes, 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 I agree. Yes, I agree. Jean Francis, the cover photo for this stream. I'm glad y'all liking that. Hey, big kid with money, don't hold back. Tell us what your gut really feels. Well, we're definitely going to tell you. So with 50 of you folks in here in the chat, so appreciate that. Hit that like button. Make sure you're subscribed to Ron and double check to make sure you're subscribed to myself. Um, First impressions, and I'm going to give Ron the floor on that. Besides the fact, let me preface this with the fact that when we went, it was, I want to say, probably 100 degrees with the heat index.
Yeah.
It was hot.
It was super hot out. So just to give you a little bit of leading up to the actual experience itself, like Lorena said, when we first got to the Ticket and Transportation Center, if you're not familiar with Walt Disney World, you don't actually enter the Magic Kingdom from the parking lot. And that was a Walt Disney thing, whole different discussion. But to keep the magic alive, your car and your parking lot is very much separated from the park. So you stop off at the Ticket and Transportation Center, pass through security, get on a monorail, go to the park. So at the Ticket and Transportation Center, we were informed that at that point in time, the ride was down. So again, it was, hey, I hope this works. I hope we're not waiting 4 hours in the hot sun like we've heard everyone else has done. And of course, we weren't 100% sure we were going to get on it. So that's how the experience started. Get inside the Magic Kingdom, go to where the ride queue is, and we find out by cast members they're directing people, and the ride is working at that time. It's up and running. So in the half hour, 20 minutes, whatever it takes to get from TTC into that part of the park, because there's all the travel time, they had gotten the ride up and running. So that's the good news. When we got to the queue, because it had been shut down for however long it had been shut down, the line was backed up.
Ooh, let me
Zigzagging
find
in front of
that because I've got some
video.
I've got some video of that.
Yeah.
Some
So
of
yeah,
my clips.
Yeah, the line was back and forth. It was. Would you say that we waited an hour? I mean, it was the line was moving. Okay, so this line was moving, and that's the good news. We weren't standing still. We were moving the whole time through the line, but I would say that it was backed up enough that we probably were at least 45 minutes, if not an
Let me
hour,
see.
going through that queue to get to the ride.
Because here's where, okay, so as we go around the bend. All right, so this is where we're trying to get into the queue. And that was like, yeah, that's where you entered at, okay. But
Yeah,
even when
the
you
actual queue's
start
on the other
there,
side of
yeah, you start there, but the line went all the way back to in front of
Mhm.
the attraction right there. So you see people and back there, loops back and then goes back past the where the stop for the train station in Frontierland is. So the line was pretty long.
Yeah. So while we say we were fortunate, the line was long, but we were fortunate in the fact that that long line had started moving, because up until we
Yes.
got there, I would say maybe it started moving 5 or 10 minutes before we actually got there, because it was backed up. But we moved, thank goodness. And then you get to the line, and just a little bit about the queue on the outside. There's not really, I didn't see very much of anything that would indicate to me that this was supposed to be New Orleans. There is the
Mm-mm.
giant painting done by a kindergartner. I'm sure it's done by a kindergartner that they picked from a local New Orleans class or something and said, "Hey, we're going to pick your
Ooh.
kindergarten art to put up here." That's because that's what it looks like to me. I mean, like I
Really?
was doing the mural, right? On the
Uh-huh.
yellow wall. I did stuff like that in second grade. There's a whole story I'll eventually tell you about my artwork in second grade. I don't want to get into it now. But yeah, there's nothing to me that's indicative that this is supposed to be beautiful 1928, 29 New Orleans artwork. There's a radio station playing that is constantly advertising, "You need to buy our hot sauce." So
Mm-hmm.
that's basically all the queue is them attempting to sell you hot sauce that you can't buy yet, but I'm sure you'll be able to down the road.
Yes.
Um,
Buy that hot sauce. Buy Tiana's hot sauce. And it's a jazz station. And to go on to what Ron was saying, you you don't really get a true sense of the 1920s, because let's just say, in
yeah,
comparison, if you go to the Tower Terror, okay, and you walk through the Tower Terror, you feel like you are in the 1930s. You feel like this is the hotel that time forgot. All of the furniture looks like it's weathered, looks like it's been used. Here it just seems really shiny, and the
even the
radio
outside.
announcements, yes, even the outside, it looks too shiny, too new. The radio station, it doesn't sound it doesn't really sound authentic. You know how when you hear those recordings,
No,
those radio
there's no
recordings from back in the,
scratchiness.
yes, there's no scratchiness, there's no I would say organicness or authenticity to like the jazz that you hear, why they weren't cutting in, the likes of Louis Armstrong, you know, jazz slash blues music, Zydeco. It
I
just
mean, also you're supposed to be in Louisiana near the Bayou, and you are looking at red rock, red clay mountains. You're literally still surrounded by splash. So like there's nothing they'll ever be able to do to not remind you that Splash Mountain was once there. If you're a fan of Splash, you're gonna be like, "Oh boy, I'm just missing my old ride." That's it, because you're reminded of it literally constantly. And I'm gonna save the other queue part for Lorena when you get deep into the queue. And you know
Mhm.
what I mean.
Yeah, I
You know,
know.
when you
I
first walk into
know.
the buildings, there's like this nice little kitchen area, and
Um,
it smells like
yeah.
canoe cooking, and
Here, let
there's some
me
cute artwork. But to give you my quick overall impression of the ride, real quick, and you can circle back to me on this. You can pull a Jen
Mm-hmm.
Pataki. And that after getting off the ride, it is a downgrade replacement from Splash, and it bothers me because I would love for a Tiana's Bayou ride to be phenomenal, to be fantastic. The animatronics that they use inside are pretty cool. You just don't see them because you go by so fast. You see them literally. I think the longest you look at any animatronic is 3 to 5 seconds. Um, until you come to the very last scene, and even go by that scene pretty fast, but that scene is filled with a bunch of animatronics and a bunch of screens. And comparing it to Navi River Journey, when you only have the very focal point of the single animatronic that you actually see for 60 seconds, and Navi River Journey, it's boring, it's true, but I like it. It's peaceful and relaxing. But when you get to the animatronic, the highlight of that ride, you see it. You focus on it for a good 60 seconds. She's right there. She's singing, and it's really animated, and it's very cool. It's right in front of you. These animatronics that are supposed to be just as cool as that one, you just don't get to see. And in a nice, slow, flat Bayou River ride going by like Grand Fiesta Tour or Small World or any of those, or maybe Pirates with a couple of bumps or something like that, it would have been,
Mm-hmm.
I think, 1,000 times better. They just should have given her her own attraction. That is my real thought. It bugs me because people are going to go on this, get wet, yay. A lot of people are going to be like, it was really nice, but there's no real storyline to it, and I think that it does a disservice to Princess Tiana and her character.
Yeah, it's eventually, and especially after I ride the attraction, again without video, just kind of like as a spectator before I wind up breaking down my own POV video, because when you see the POV video that I released this evening, you'll hear my audio commentary, you'll hear Ron's audio commentary, and to his point, yes, the ride vehicles move way too fast. The Navi River Journey, as boring as it is, it goes at a leisurely pace that you expect. It's you don't get in Tiana's Bayou Adventure, you get the feeling they're trying to get you in there and get you out of there and make you go buy hot sauce. It's not about
Yeah.
enjoy. It is. It's like get in, get out, buy stuff, and get
I
out.
hope
I mean,
it's really good hot sauce because it darn well better be the best hot sauce I ever tasted.
I will tell you folks, yes, I will buy this hot sauce. Yes, I will give you my Creole opinion of it. And yes, I will tell you if there's better hot sauce that you can buy out there. Because, yeah, I'm going to find out because this is ridiculous. Not that it's not out of the ordinary for hot sauce to be sold in parks. I mean, Universal does it a lot, especially around Halloween Horror Nights, where they'll have, you know, like, uh, I'm gonna censor it a little bit. The devil's backside hot sauce. I mean, they will have stuff like that, out there, but it makes total sense. But here, they're moving you through the line. They're moving you through the queue, which is so lackluster, and then they dump you in this ride, and you're going so fast, you can't take in anything. You can't really get into the feel of the attraction. You can't really get into the story that they're trying to tell, which they really don't do a good job at telling. That it does. It feels insulting. You don't get the chance to absorb what's going on, and you can't. It's just like you can't take it in. With Splash Mountain, that was a leisurely ride because you're going at like the animal's pace, you're taking in all the story elements, and by the time you do that final drop and it's like welcome home Burr Rabbit, it's not a rush. when you get through, to get through that scene. So I really do not like how fast they're rushing people through this ride. They're Granted, this is past for the previews, but this isn't the only attraction at the Magic Kingdom right now where they're speeding everything up. They've sped up Peter Pan. They've sped up It's a Small World. They've sped up Haunted Mansion. So I have noticed that. Yes, they are going much faster than they used to be. So that's a big issue, and I think it's does a big disservice to the guests who have paid a lot of money to get into this park, to rush them through a ride, to get you to buy a ride photo and buy the hot sauce and merch and get out.
Yeah, it's very rushed. But you know what the weird part is? Is the parts that aren't rushed in this ride are the boring parts. when
Yes.
like when there is on Splash, when you went up the final hill to await the drop, every flume ride I've ever been on has some type of an element typically built into it to build up that anticipation, anxiety, fear, excitement, whatever, to go down the drop. And this one's like, now let's get you big. And I'll be honest with you, not to really insult Mama Oni, but she's not going to get me big. So anyway, but yeah, it's it's you don't feel any anticipation. You just have a glowing light in your eye, and it does make me think of Maelstrom. Makes me think of the beginning of Maelstrom when the eye thing is right in your face, the light shining in your face. Many have passed this way before, and many will pass this way again. That, like, remember that part of Maelstrom at the beginning?
Yes, I do.
I feel like I think if Mama Odie had said that, it actually would be more exciting than what she does say, which is, all right, let's and I don't know what it is she's supposed to be holding, but for some reason it looks like she's holding a turkey leg in her left hand. It really does.
It does.
And I don't know if she's selling turkey legs. So I'm like, how convoluted is this?
One of the things that I am going to say is they did keep some of the little bird houses that you saw in Splash Mountain. Unfortunately, a lot of the little critter habitats are missing, the ones that used to be there. So when you go through this queue, okay, I'm showing this mural on purpose because there's nothing about this mural that says 1920s. You notice how it's too bright, it's too shiny. It doesn't look weathered. It doesn't look like it's been subject to, the torrential rains that you get every day in the summer in New Orleans. And the art does not look like 1920s art. I mean, I say this and I truly, truly believe this. This looks like artwork basically that you would find, like, say, in Cuba than you would from the 1920s in New Orleans. And most people weren't really talking about it.
It sort of reminds me of a few 1970s album covers. Just having grown up in that era, it kind of strikes that chord with me.
Like the Yellow Submarine from the Beatles.
Yeah, just that was in that late 1960s and early 1970s was all that pop art, and people were on stuff when they were doing the art, and it just kind of looks like that. But it's not. It's so. There's nothing about it that I don't know. Like it's lacking. It's very lacking, and fortunately. It's one of the easiest things that Disney could replace if they ever decide to. Like, I hope that doesn't insult the artists if they do decide to change it, because you could paint over that and put up some type of a decoration that's hung or whatever. It is easy to change if Disney gets feedback on this that they need to change it. Then the other thing about the whole experience is you're like, honestly, what does Tiana's Foods have anything to do with any of this. They it looks like a big part of the story until you get on the ride, and literally has nothing at all whatsoever to do with the ride.
None. When you go through here, they'll have like little food patches of vegetables and stuff. Like that's one of the gardens there. So I do say that they did get what they did get right is the illustration of the trinity of vegetables. I mean, the French have mirepoix, which is like celery, onions, and carrots. But in Creole cuisine, it's celery, onions, and bell pepper instead, and that is the basis of everything in Creole and Cajun cooking. So they put that there, but it's since it doesn't, which is a shame, it doesn't have anything to do with food. It would have been a great cultural highlight to actually point that out. They didn't do that. So you've got like, employee owned Tiana's Foods. Again, this goes back to my personal peeve. Tiana is an entrepreneur. She owns her own restaurant. She is a capitalist. She is not a collectivist. So I find it kind of annoying. They want Tiana to basically share all her stuff when she's done all of the work with
I mean, the whole movie was about her struggle to save up, and then her fight with the bank, and then making sure. I mean, she was a self-made person that is the heart of Americanism and capitalism and success. So it just, I don't know. It's just so weird.
It is. Look at that's a darn sticker. Hang on. I just happened to see this. Look at that. That's a sticker. That looks like a sticker.
Yeah.
Exactly. Hey, Chef Nation, I saw you. And most very importantly, Demogeny, the Lord Commander of the Dark Council, for the $2 super chat says, "Hey, Lorena, I hope you're having a wonderful day." Well, I'm hoping you're having a wonderful day too, my dear, especially with the new gig. I hope it's treating you well. And so generous. You didn't have to do this, dude, but thank you. It says, "Just because," and all the hearts and smiles. Thank you so much, Demogeny. I appreciate it. Folks, you got to subscribe to Demogeny's channel, Spellbroken Gaming on his channel on Saturdays and Spellbroken Live on Sundays. So you got to check his channel out. And hey, Flash, oh my gosh, thank you. I can confirm it's a sticker. You know what this reminds me of? I remember back in the day when I made the awful mistake of buying a BMW, actually. And I do. I said awful mistake. I will never buy another BMW ever again, unless it's a vintage one, because I know it's still, that's still up and running. But the BMW logo thing, I don't know, it was too cold, something happened and it finally fell off. I go to the BMW dealer thinking I'm gonna get some nice little enamel replacement, like I got. Do you know what they told me? Actually, it's a sticker. I said, "You got to get what?" I said, "Oh yeah, stickers now. We just use it as a sticker." I said, "Seriously? You didn't have stickers like this in the 1920s. A lot of those logos were hand machined and put together. Can you imagine if the Rolls Royce logo was a freaking sticker?" I can't.
You know what the birds and the bird houses are saying? They're all saying cheep, 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 cheep.
Yep. Cheep, 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 cheep. Yeah,
I wanted you to talk about the most exciting part of the queue right before you get to the ride.
We gonna get to that. We can get to my favorite part. And I think the blowback when I said that, I think people were like, what?
Oh my gosh. Could not be 1,000 times worse than any of the fake stuff that they say about Splash.
Yeah. Casey Cat, BMW can pass everything but a BMW garage. I got so sick and tired of that thing. There's a reason why they keep giving you a loaner at BMW because your car's always in a freaking shop. You serious? Ah. I'm not the most creative, but a trip to New Orleans will inspire anyone to give a with a bit of give a duck. Yeah. And we've talked about that in several streams where there's just stuff that they could have done, and it seems like they we're just saying. It seems like they were just holed up in the Four Seasons Hotel in New Orleans and really didn't go anywhere past the French Quarter. Hey, theme park casual, good to see you here, my dear. And 73 of you awesome people here watching. We sure do appreciate it. Ron and I got a chance to do a preview of Tiana's Bayou adventure. So we're kind of talking about the queue a little bit. Both of us have POV videos coming out pretty soon. But here's where you go inside. Again, when I talk about authenticity, this looks too new. Disney used to create cues, like say, for example, compare this to Pirates of the Caribbean crew. That cue.
Oh my gosh, that's a great cue.
It looks authentic to the time. And this, it just looks like they just popped it out of the box and dropped it in. And that's like even the newspaper, and I've seen newspapers from that time period. It looks too new, and it doesn't really look like a paper. It looks like it just looks like plastic. And yeah, Tom, no weathering at all.
So I don't know if you're aware of this, but Temu is now selling theme park queue sets.
Look at this. New Orleans Business Journal. Why doesn't that say the New Orleans Times Picayune? That's the paper that would have still been printing in 1920. And it's just not there. I mean, that, I guess, to the casual viewer, they might think, okay, well, it's not really a big deal. Oh, that's a lightning lane that goes back the other way. Yes, that was indeed running. So it looks like some people got access to the lightning lane. I don't know, but it was pretty obvious because they went around the other side. But here's the kitchen. That is one of the cleanest looking kitchens from the 1920s that I've ever seen.
It's definitely does not look lived in. What this queue looks like, having walked through the Haunted Mansion, the entire Haunted Mansion, I've walked through it and seen the attention to detail that the Imagineers paid in the past. What this looks like is that you have groups and groups and groups of Imagineers as they've come up and have been told this story of, you're an Imagineer, pay attention to detail, this and this. But it's like they've just gotten lazier and lazier and lazier at paying attention to the details. So they're basically giving you the idea of paying attention to the details, but phoning it in.
This should have been a dead-on duplicate of Carousel of Progress. Thank you. See, we're right here, Tom. They could have used a Carousel of Progress, for example, of how to look aged for a kitchen. 100%. If they had aged this correctly, it shouldn't have even tripped my radar that something was wrong. But you go in the Carousel of Progress, and then when they get to, I think it's a turn of the century, that one, when we're like, yeah, we finally have, electricity and all of this. The stove looks used. Everything looks, like it's been dated, weathering, sun weathered, uh, burn marks, stuff like that, scuffs on the table.
Look how clean and white that pot is. It's
I
a bright,
know.
shiny new pot with clearly
No
nothing inside.
dents or anything, anything like that. It looks like a Cracker Barrel store. Yes, it does.
I think Cracker Barrel does a better job.
They do.
I
They
mean, I
do.
live
When you
right
go to
next to
Cracker,
one, so
it looks like somebody, looks like somebody's kitchen that they've actually been using. And you're right. There are two times the kitchen is that clean before you start cooking and after you've done cooking. You're making beignets. Where's all the flour? Where's everything? You know, exactly, Bash. Where'd the money for those research trips go? I'm not seeing it. And it's a shame because Disney is known for making amazing cues. And this isn't yet. Why is that not a functioning kitchen with the staff and they're making bread for sale and atmospheric scent experience? That's another missed opportunity.
could have had
And
an
yeah,
animatronic.
yeah, that would have been perfect actually. Making beignets. No stains on the apron is a dead giveaway. And tell Jay they stole his butter dish.
Ah,
It does. It just doesn't. It just looks like a set. And when you go, I'm gonna say when you go past this way, like I do like these clips, but there's really not enough time to kind of like take it all in when you get through here. So again, it's like it looks like a newspaper clip, but the authenticity of it, isn't there. It doesn't look sun weathered. It doesn't, you know, it just looks too staged. And it's not a Disney type
uh,
of a type
in
of
the
cue.
end, it just feels like, and again, this is the entire ride. Um, it was rushed, which is really weird that it was rushed because I
Mhm.
think it was first announced in 2020. When they announced it, they said they've been working on it for 2 years, and I think that it might actually be true because I had heard rumors of something happening in 2018, as early as 2018. But then, the actual reconstruction project, it just clearly it's rushed. Clearly, there's a lot of details that if they could have been given, I would say just another month or two before the
Mhm.
opening. Like, let's say it opened in instead of June 28th, August 28th, and they had 2 months where they could have really looked over everything and said, how is this going to be criticized? Because that's the lens that they need, especially nowadays. Disney really needs to look at stuff as
Mhm.
how is it going to be criticized? Because we exist, and we're out here and doing our jobs, and we are going to be critical because Disney has earned that reputation that they are the highest of the highest of the high quality of theme parks. And therefore,
Absolutely.
if you're going to earn that reputation, you have to work to keep it.
And you're absolutely right, Northman JH. The 1920s was known as the Roaring Twenties because of the economic prosperity. And at this point in time, you had a good amount of Black people who were working for the first time in the government. The government was, de- you know, government service was desegregated. So there was a lot of economic prosperity going around in that time until, of course, the crash, what happened, and that's where all that went. Vash says people reporting that it's hot in that queue. Is that true? 100%. So and actually I talked about this yesterday with
The
Ron.
majority of the
It is
queue is
hot.
outside.
Yes, you're
The vast
outside.
majority of the queue is outside. You're only in the building for I don't think it was 10 minutes that we were inside the
Yeah,
building.
you're not in there for very long. Not
And
really
I
covered for
and I
very
didn't have a
long.
sense. I don't think they have air conditioning in that first building that you walk into, because you walk in, you walk back outside, and then you go up the stairs into the other building.
Yeah.
There might have been some air running, but it was probably 80, 85 degrees. It was 100 degrees outside, so um, it's a little bit cooler than that. But generally speaking, it's a pretty darn hot queue. Yeah,
It is hot. They
I
had
like it.
portable fans that were out there, and I'm glad they did. I did see at least one person who was suffering from some heat exhaustion kind of
Yes, yes, we did see that.
experience. We did see that. It's too open, it's too exposed, and they're going to need a lot more fans. So if you go to this attraction when it opens, make sure you have your own personal portable fan or an umbrella or both, actually, because it's all exposed. There's no cover.
There's one water fountain in the
Mhm.
queue. There probably should be four more.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, you like Grogu wear my my patriotic ears? Buy Loungefly, actually. Because Loungefly is killing it when it comes to the mouse ears. And speaking of merchandise, there's supposed to be some Tiana's Bayou Adventure ears that are coming out. Skip those. Loungefly is coming out with one. So yeah, I gotta have that one. I gotta have that one. Looks gorgeous. Yeah, it used to be Rogue. It used to be Tom, but they've turned it down. And it
I've
is
noticed that all the AC in Disney World, all the AC is up at about at least 78, but it feels like maybe 82 to 85
yeah,
is what it turned up to.
yeah, it's noticeable. Remember when you would walk into where there was air conditioning and you almost felt like you were being flash frozen? It felt so good, but it's like, whoo,
Hey, I miss that. I'll
yeah.
take that any day. They're not doing that now for sure.
Yeah.
Not anywhere on Disney in the parks. The resorts could be a different deal.
Mhm. Well, let me talk about this right here. And I'm glad Bash is in the chat. Please shake off salt before leaving mines. Now, usually when you were getting sent to a salt mine, it was not a happy occasion. It was basically a punishment. And I did a video with Vash and with Jonas J. Campbell over there for that park place. The salt mine that they based this on, the Avery Island salt mine, which is currently home to the McElhenney Tabasco sauce company, that was a salt mine that was worked by slave labor. And we thought that there was maybe just one sign about the salt mines. Oh, no, 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 no. They have a whole several of them. I want to say probably at least between 10 to 15 of these signs. And yeah, so it wasn't just a one happy accident. This whole thing is to basically make you feel, and there's Ron right there in front of me. This is to
Hello,
make you
self.
feel like you're going into a salt mine. And
I
the
mean,
irony is not lost on me.
no, well, I mean, I don't know. I just the idea that they were supposedly trying to get rid of something that was problematic for those historical reasons, and then they switched to something that is thousands of times worse.
Thousands of times worse and historically accurate and easily verifiable. People working in the mines was not working in a mine in the South. I'm just like, this makes zero freaking sense. And this used to be the tunnel in Splash Mountain where you see like all those quotes from Burr Frog and warnings about Burr Rabbit and what trouble he's going to get into. So you're walking through here just like, we're gonna go follow Brer Rabbit and
It
see,
was so
and
cute.
see. It was so cute, and the artwork that they had up there, and they had like the portraits, like the crafted portraits of like all the little critters. And I think this used to be one of the little critter keeps, so to speak, where you could see
Yeah.
inside, their houses where they lived at. I think that was where I think some of the other rabbits were. But now it's, if you have no clue of the history, you're just like, oh, salt mine, we're going into a salt mine. It's like, a company tour. No, it's not like doing a tour of the Anheuser-Busch, beer factory or something like that. It's That's what it seems like. But I look at that and I'm like, historical wise, if you know the sordid history of Avery Island and that they picked this, um, pretty freaking
This is worse than going
offensive.
down into the utilidor.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, I felt insulted in so many ways. Native Hawaiian says, what a happy feeling to be going into a salt mine. Yeah, see, there's a TNT right there for the salt mine. And here's where'd that go? When in a salt mine, please call for help if caught in a pinch. Hmm.
And that's every one of these signs is supposed to be some type of a supposed joke, like seasoned veterans in the salt mine. Except if you know who the seasoned veterans would be, wow, is that is so offensive. Like super. I don't know, Lorena. You can speak to that.
Especially when earlier on in the queue, where you see the pictures, they have the pictures of Tiana and Tiana's dad. So Tiana's dad, he's obviously a veteran from World War I. World War I was the first war where Black people were officially allowed to serve in the military. They were still segregated, but they were allowed to serve in World War I. I actually saw an actual poster, I kid you not, an actual poster by the War Department, basically warning the Germans over in Europe, Uncle Sam's colored boys are coming. I mean, that was a terminology at the time. But for a lot of them that could serve then, they were very proud of the fact that they could actually do that. So I think it's beyond insulting. You have this tribute to her dad as a veteran, and then you bring up a salt mine, because people who were her father's age at that time, they would have still had relatives living who were enslaved. Just saying. This is the context that these people missed, or either ignored, or were told to ignore it when you decide to base that on Avery Island. So,
Yeah, and like I've
yeah,
said before, if they would have simply kept Dr. Facilier in this thing, they could have said, well, he's cursed the bayou and brought a mountain out of it for whatever reason they want to make it in the story. So
yeah.
this could have been easily avoided from his story point of view.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I'm trying to find a hot sauce. There's a general store, but that's actually, I think, the other side of the queue. The jokes are easy to get, but this is not the place for them. Yeah, it doesn't it's not good. Not good. Not good at all. RO, hello, says Disney actually made something that wasn't racist, now racist, LOL. Yeah, yeah, yeah. 80s man, hello, says I just went to Wikipedia to look up the history of Avery Island. They put nothing about slaves on the page. Can't hurt the Tabasco sauce company. Yeah, it's one of those things where, and I found a lot of some of these companies, they won't really put that history out about their particular product. All the native folks in New Orleans, we all know about Avery Island, but you know, They don't want to talk about it. They really, 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 really don't. Hey, big kid with money, butterbeer or Tiana ride? Toss up. Oh gosh, definitely butterbeer. Definitely, definitely butterbeer. But to show you guys a little bit, first of all, 83 of you amazing folks in here watching. Thank you so very much. Make sure you hit that like button. And we're gonna start talking about a little bit of the POV. We're not doing a whole lot. We're just kind of bringing up some points and uh, observations we have of the attraction, which Ron and I did ride yesterday. Thanks to WW Pro and a very generous cast member, we did indeed get to experience it. Tabasco's pre-Civil War section on their site will be as detailed as BMW's 1939-45 section. Yeah, for the most part. Hey, Mad Hatter 1776. I like that one. The sheer power of propaganda is amazing. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. So here's the cue. So here we are. We're in the ride. This is the first ramp up. Which was it this point or was it the other one where when we dropped?
It's the second one.
It was okay. It was the second one.
Yeah.
So it was pretty rough. So we're up here, floating around, going past the frogs. And this is kind of like what I don't like get. It's like you're going past Tiana and Naveen's frogs, but isn't this ride set after those events?
That's what I thought too. I'm like, this is set decoration that has nothing to do with story whatsoever.
None. And I think, and when I show you guys, when we get around a little bit more, I think this was mainly just for how it looks on the outside for people to get pictures. And just like Tron, this is an attraction that during the day, there's nothing really to say about it. It only sticks out at night, which is really messed up because Splash Mountain always looked good no matter what time of day or evening that you saw it.
No, the frogs are not animated.
No, they just sit there and stare at you. That's pretty much it. And then you go around here. Okay, why don't we talk about this part?
It's just sad. There's this wall of painted food that looks like did they get this from an Aldi display or I don't know. It's the signs hanging up, the side of the grocery store at Aldi. I don't know.
At least at Aldi's or especially Trader Joe's, they hand, draw all that stuff. So somebody actually draws it and it looks, and it looks good. But this, I don't know why this wall is here. Number one.
It literally looks like a construction wall. I mean, it looks like it's hiding something that's behind it that's supposed to be there later.
Yeah. It doesn't look like it's part of the set design.
And it's long. Look how long it is. Like it's so awkward. It's just really, really awkward.
It's so underwhelming. Equus Heart, yes, it is. It's like you go around and it's like, what the heck is that? Looks like it's from Trader Joe's. I wouldn't even insult Trader Joe's.
No. Trader Joe's does a much better job.
Yeah, they sure do. Bash says, "Hey, look, a Food Network."
Oh, golly.
And I had made this observation, and after going to the queue and seeing the vegetables that they had out there, this totally reaffirms my thought. There should have been animatronic types of vegetables out there, just like Food Rocks used to be at Epcot. That would have added to the kinetics of the ride, would have kept you, engaged. Who doesn't like, singing or dancing fruit or vegetables, or to make it animated, some kind of reason, not just a wall that's there. It just does nothing. Yeah, if it was in a store, yeah, but it's like, okay, so we float by frogs and Bayou water. We don't float by a briar patch. Like, oh, is that where we're gonna go?
Mm.
Nothing, no little critters in your little houses and what they're doing in the day to day. You don't feel like you're around all these little creatures. It's like, okay, we're gonna sail past the wall. David Eckert, you're right. Yeah, I don't think I even saw that that darn weather vane at at all. Nothing has any dimension in their murals. Yeah, it doesn't look like true, like, wow, that's some nice artwork.
And
The
yes, it's true.
wall has been there. It's a freaking mural.
There was no water on the drop.
None.
Hasn't been all
None.
week.
No water, no water on the drop. Also, Todd Bowman, so much cheap Office Depot job. Yes. Yes, we were talking about that, but like the posters, straight out, it's like straight out of Kinko's. That's what it looks like. Case in point, if you've ever been to the tribute store over at Universal Orlando, one year, I think it was during Halloween Horror Nights, they had a speakeasy section, like a haunted speakeasy. And they had like the old school, posters and everything that were there. And they looked weathered and they looked on point. They didn't look like it came from Office Depot or anything like that. And this brass that you're seeing right here, that's where the briar patch used to be. So we don't get a briar patch. What you get is that wall of grass back there. So you just fall behind a wall of grass when you go over the drop that has no water running. Are they going to sell Bayou tonic water? Don't give them any ideas. Chris Dominguez, hello, I'm sorry about that, said the wall was there before, but no one paid attention to it because they were looking at the terrifying drop. Now, I understand that. But I think you're right. With them missing the water that's there, the drop that's there, when you're floating by, you're just like, I don't know. Yeah. With that wall there, it should have just still been a wall and not a mural. You averted your gaze to the drop on the right. The wall has always been there, but now it's really there. Yeah, it's like I wasn't paying attention to it until you called my attention to it.
Should have just made it a fence.
Yeah. Just kept it there. Or even better, made it that wrought iron that New Orleans is famous for. That way it would have looked artistic. It would have been there and added to the authenticity of the attraction. But then again, they would have figured that out if they really would have did something with that research trip. You know what I'm saying? A wrought iron fence, exactly. Yeah. Would have been perfect. Nondescript, but culturally accurate, and keep your eye focused on that drop. So, Ron, do you want to talk about this part here? We get to see our first Tiana animatronic.
There's not much. I mean, once you get up to it, you go by it, and she says, "Welcome in, folks. We're going to try to find a band."
Look how fast we're going.
She's not doing anything.
No,
So,
no, it's just the upper body.
I say something about it in my POV, but I don't remember what I said.
Wait for Ron's video, but you see, we go really, really
fast.
I mean,
it's weird. It's almost like the boat sped up every time we're by an animatronic. I'm sure that's not what happens, but it certainly feels this way. This part where you come here to the side, it's I thought it was going to look better in person. When I first saw the picture of it, I thought it was photoshopped in, and it even in real life, they've managed to make it look like it was photoshopped in real life.
Yeah, this is FedEx Kinko's going on.
I can't, there's nothing about this sign to me that screams 1920s. It screams made in made on a printer in 2024.
Yeah, look at that. It's so flat. There's no dimension. There's nothing. Again, there's nothing that makes it look like it's straight out of the
This would be another
1920s.
place where if they would have taken time to discuss what kind of sign went there, it might have been made out of that wrought iron and been a really cool archway with
Mm-hmm.
some foliage over the top, some beautiful flowers, magnolias, and said, "Welcome to Tiana's Foods, y'all." Or so, I mean, they just didn't take their time. They slapped this up. It looks slapped up.
It
It
does.
would be better without the sign. It would be better if there was literally
Yeah,
no sign there.
no sign. Maybe if there was just a balcony up there, wrought iron balcony or whatever. But there's so much art from the 1920s that they could have paid attention to and made a perfect replica. They don't want you to see the animatronics, so they speed up. You know what? You're not wrong with that. From a distance, it makes me think New Mexico, not Louisiana. Yeah, absolutely. And that's something we've been talking about for the longest time. These flowers, okay, yes, it does look like the backside of Tafiti. I mean, y'all are a little bit more colorful than I am, but they're the same darn flowers. I'm going to keep harping on that point because they are. Here's a dancing okra, and we keep getting these shots of Lewis's butt. So he's digging he's digging through the okra, but you can't really see that that's really what's going on because the boat's going too fast. And you don't have time to actually see, oh, I see that it's, Lewis digging through the okra patch. You just see two okra moving like this, like they're trying to land a plane. And it just really, 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 really pulls you the heck out of it. Okay. All right. Well, let's see. That's pretty much saw the reactions, and they're really trying to make it seem like it's a sound experience. I hear you. I hear you. I hear you. Let's see. Trying to figure out what else I'm going to show you guys really, really quick because I don't want you guys to be late for the premiere of Ron's video. So I'm going to skip over here to this scene, this ending scene here, which you don't get enough time to see. Welcome to the Florida Bayou.
Oh my gosh.
Florida Bayou, home of Princess Tiana and Prince Naveen. It's like, we're not going to a banquet hall. We're not going to a dance hall with a band or
It's
anything
not
like
even
that.
a wedding or a wedding reception. Like, they didn't even make it that.
Let me back up a little bit. Yeah.
And
So here we go.
And it's
Welcome
their
to
home. It's not
their
Tiana's
home.
palace.
No. Why would we be going to their house?
It's so
Why
weird.
couldn't you just have the party at the restaurant at the Tiana's Palace? Yeah.
And as good as the animatronics are in this scene, and they're fine, I like the animatronics, but why diminish that with putting screen characters behind them? I don't mind the screens being behind them if they're scenery and backdrop to the animatronics, but it's really, really weird. And your eye notices it immediately that there are all of these flat, two-dimensional characters on a screen behind the animatronics, which are really cool. Just leave out those characters. You don't need them there. I mean, that was a very strange thing that my brain was like, this is weird. Why am I seeing 3D live animatronics and then these flat characters in the background? That was strange. Just leave it at the scenery would have been fine.
Yeah, they should have done what they did with the three caballeros, right? In the Mexico Pavilion, where they do have screens, but the screens enhance the practical set effect that's that's in front of you. Like when Donald, loses his pants or whatever, you can see the practical effect, where he's got like his clothes left behind, and it doesn't intrude on the experience. Here, it intrudes quickly. It's not seamless. And
when you the animatronics at the Caballeros, the Grand Fiesta Tour, it's just them. Your eye goes over to them. They're on the stage. They're by themselves. There's no screens behind them at that point in time. No screen characters. It's just them. It's a good focus. Good ride.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's why are there armadillos? There are some.
There's tons in Florida.
Yeah.
I see them all the time here.
Mm-hmm.
And all the way up to Missouri. Armadillos are pretty. They're a rodent type characters, animals, so they're all over.
Mm-hmm.
And possums.
God, Charlotte just looks crazy. But yeah, you go through here. I don't like that. It's so intrusive, and there's a couple of other screens that are like that too, where it intrudes on the experience. It doesn't enhance the experience from the back. And then Naveen, they just kind of stuck him back there. And then you have Tiana in this dress. Okay, it is a 1920s dress, but it's not her outfit from when Dr. Facilier is trying to trick her, nor is it her beautiful wedding gown. So it's like I see this and I'm just like, why'd y'all go with this one? It doesn't tie it doesn't tie to the film. That's my thing. It does not tie to the film at all, and it just doesn't quite look like Tiana. And there's some reasons for that. It just, they just said, bump Naveen. We're going to throw him back there. He's not in a prominent spot next to her. It would have been perfect if it seemed like they were dancing, but they didn't do that. They just kind of shoved him up there on the staircase, said, bye, buddy. That's okay. That's okay. We don't need to deal with you. But there's Ralphie. It goes by so fast. There's the possum band. And with the critters, they only go in one direction. They're not in multiple vectors of movement.
I wasn't able to get that stopped. I'm gonna have to drop.
No worries. No worries. But we're gonna. So
I'm gonna drop here and go over there. And thank you all so much. Thank you, Lorena, for having me. I'll see you real soon, everybody.
Yep, we're gonna root you guys on over there as soon as we wrap up over here, which should not be much longer. Why not go with the gown and just critters? Weird choices. I don't know where or what they came up with this. It's disjointed. That's the thing. It's like the storyboarding wasn't done. And when I say storyboarding, we're talking about like from beginning to end. What's this attraction? What do you see? What's going on? What's the story? How's everything going to progress? And it doesn't seem like they did that at all. And David Chilson says, it feels like we're in Mirabel's Casita instead of New Orleans. Thank you for bringing that up. Because when I first saw the house, it does. It looks like a casita in Colombia. It doesn't look like the architecture in New Orleans. I'm actually going to show you guys. It doesn't look like the architecture that you would see there. So in New Orleans, this is New Orleans style architecture. It's not French, it's Spanish, but it's mixed influence. So it's Spanish architecture standards, but with French influence as well. You see here, there are, let me see, I'm going to blow this picture up. I showed this before. You see how the distinctive character of these houses? It's not there. There's plenty of grand houses, but they didn't, they didn't include that. And instead, we got this. Just know. Native Hawaiian, if I ever ride this, I'm just going to put a Splash Mountain POV ride on, put the earbuds in, and just do my own Imagineering. Apparently, just as in the video, getting wet isn't a concern. Oh, yeah, let me talk about that too. No, you will not get wet with this. With Splash Mountain, the thrill of it was all that freaking water that came out when people came splashing over, over there. People would stand on that bridge to purposely get secondhand spray from that. It wasn't a proper ride on Splash Mountain if you weren't soaked down to your underwear. There's a reason for that, but there's no splash. So when Mama Odie says, "Oh, we're going to make you big just for you can make a big splash at the party," there's no water for you to make a big splash. So it makes no sense. It says no sense. So are they in Louisiana or Florida? It says Florida Bayou. They're supposed to be in Louisiana. And it doesn't make any sense. They should have added the Tiana and Naveen boat animatronics. See, I would have loved that. I would have loved that. And did they get lost and end up in Cuba? Yeah, it's not yeah. Again, research trip. They did not pay attention. All those houses that I showed you, that's New Orleans. And I'm pretty sure they were right there in the French Quarter, and you didn't pay attention to that. You didn't go and see a lot of the other established New Orleans houses that were there, and they're gorgeous. Could have replicated that. New Orleans is a mixture of many cultures. I look at this and I think Colombia, and I shouldn't be thinking that if this is supposed to be New Orleans. No, you do not get wet anymore. You do not. You will get splashed. I mean, there's a difference between getting water on you and you get splashed, right? And there's a difference between so much water coming at you that you are absolutely soaked and drenched. But that's what people wanted, especially in the hot Florida summer. That's what you wanted to do. You wanted to get soaked. You wanted to get absolutely soaked. But no, Rogue Attraction, the splash, there is no splash zone. No splash zone whatsoever right now. None. And for me, I say this all the time. Now it's a ride where you can get a good nap, except for the second drop, which is really jarring. There's something about it. It's much harsher than it used to be. I don't know if it's because of the water level. You don't really get wet. They're just gonna get a bunch of crying kids at the end after the drop because they told them it's a kids ride. Yeah, Chris, that's the other thing. It's based on Princess and the Frog. People probably think it's a cute kids ride, and they're basically gonna get scared to death, literal figuratively, when they go down that drop. It's not gonna work. Looking at this makes me hot. I need to go on bootleg Splash Mountain Dorney Park. And even Tower of Terror has soul in it, even though it's themed to the Twilight Zone. Yes, absolutely. Laura Eve says, research involves pictures. Did they cover the camera with their fingers? That does not look like New Orleans. No. I do not think they truly paid attention. I don't even think they truly really left where they were. If they would have spent any amount of time hanging out in Jackson Square just to see what it's like, and I'm going to show you guys Jackson Square. Uh, where is it? I just had Jackson Square. I'm very proud of this because this is actually where my fifth great grandparents got married. Uh, let's see, Donato Maximilian Bello, who was an Italian sailor from the Kingdom of Naples in the service of the Spanish military, uh, married his wife, Suzanne, who was a French Creole, born in Dauphin Island, better known as Mobile, Alabama. So they were actually married in this church. It's right here. This is Jackson Square. Jackson Square is basically how would I say it? How would I put this? Jackson Square is basically the Times Square of the South. Only thing these people had to do was observe what would go on in Jackson Square. You have people dancing for money. You have people, you know, you have artists that are painting. You have people selling their wares. You have folks selling food. Cafe du Monde is not that far from there. It is literally the center of culture in New Orleans, and none of that made it into the attraction. There is no pop. There is no sizzle. It must be green. Is the ride even open right now? The ride is open to pass holder previews, not pass holder, excuse me, um, cast members. So cast members and their guests, they're doing previews for the attraction right now. Annual pass holder previews are supposed to start next week. I'm actually going to be there the first day on the 13th and see how that goes. The attraction officially opens on June 28th, and I will be there in June as well. Travis Knopfsinger says Tiana's animatronic looked bored sitting on that stump and waiting to drop one line. Yeah, it just doesn't fit, and only her upper body is moving. But most of the Tiana animatronics only have like movement from the lower body up. They're not a full one like the one in the scene at the end. They are too lazy to do any research. It feels soulless. Yes. Yes, it does. It feels extremely, extremely soulless. And here at the end, after the party, guess what? There's there's Mama Odie and Juju. Juju has a tie on there. Apparently, voodoo was a problem, but keeping the snake's name as Juju isn't. Just saying. And supposedly, this scene is where they pipe in the smell of beignets. I know what beignets smell like, and there was really no beignet smell. Could have been just for the cast member previews, but still, that's bad show. That smell-o-vision should have been working right there. So that's pretty much it. You go from the party to the beignets, and they basically say, "All right, get out and go buy some hot sauce." Oh, BR Guy says, do you think they went with the salt mine setting to desperately tie it to Thunder because they anticipated criticism about it not fitting in and didn't consider the larger optics? No, they went with the salt mine because the original concept art, which they announced that before they talked to Imagineering about if it was practical to do that. Imagineering was like, there's no way you're going to get a boat in a tree and do that with the existing Splash Mountain. So they had to come up with something to explain that big, huge mountain, which looks like Broccoli Mountain right now, for why it's there. So they went with the salt mine. Didn't really do didn't really do the research at all. You'd imagine they would have figured out that no type of mine has a squeaky clean history. Yes. Yeah, they didn't. But to as for my overall impressions of the attraction, it's a nice ride. I think it's definitely below the standard that Disney has set. It's no longer the thrill ride that it used to be. There's no thrill to it. The story, there is no story, no coherent story to this, and all of the theming from the queue to what's in the attraction, it is not Disney. It's nice. It's a nice attraction. I would say it's nice for Six Flags, but it's not Disney. And the Disney difference is not here in this attraction. And it so very much could have been. So now I know why Tony Baxter's like, I have nothing to do with this. They brought him in there just for optics and made him sign an NDA. But I would not want to it's just not. So if you enjoy Princess and the Frog, you were going to enjoy going through this ride. My favorite part, yes, I do actually have a favorite part, is when you're in the bayou and it's the song from the film Going Down the Bayou. Okay, and you've got the fireflies and you hear the Zydeco music playing, and it's from the film. So you're reliving that part of the movie. And I love that, which is why it pissed me off that you go from Going Down the Bayou, then you switch over to like this Afro-Cuban salsa version of Going Down the Bayou. Just no, that does not fit. That does not fit. If it was a jazz version of Going Down the Bayou, that would have made sense. That would have been seamless. But how are you going to go from a Zydeco version, which is authentically Cajun, part of Louisiana, part of New Orleans history, to Afro-Cuban salsa, which has nothing to do with that? Afro-Cuban salsa is actually inspired by jazz music. And it's like jazz music is authentically an American thing, a Black American thing with its origins. We don't need to bring Afro-Cuban into that. Why? Makes zero sense. Absolutely, absolutely zero sense. Why are you going to have Afro-Cuban music in Frontierland? I'm asking the questions. Doesn't make sense. For people who don't know, it's going to go over their head and it's going to seem interesting and it's going to seem fun. But as somebody whose family lived in New Orleans for centuries, which is why we're Creole, been here for centuries, makes zero freaking sense and proves that team did not do their research. Let's see. If it's good enough for Six Flags, it's good enough for us pop wrestler. Oh, Lord, not that dude. Not that dude. Yes, it is. It is a one and done. Do it, done, over with. Remember, Big Thunder Mountain is scheduled to go down for a year while that's being worked on. And you're just going to have Tiana's Bayou Adventure running. I think after everyone has gotten their initial interest, this attraction will eventually just be a darn walk on. That's my prediction. There's no longevity to it. There's no rewritability to it unless they seriously retool it. So yeah, one and done. I would not wait longer than 45 minutes to get on it. In the summer, it's going to be oppressive, but in the end, it's forgettable. And honestly, the only thing really about this thing is the merchandising. There's a massive drop of merchandise that's going to come from this attraction. That's truly what they're trying to sell from this. They've even got a plush that looks like Tiana in pants. No little girl really wants Tiana pants. They want Tiana in her dress. So that's what I'm saying. Yes, it's a video premiere. Yeah, video premiere. Ron's trying to trying to reschedule it. My fault for going over. I'd only planned on going for an hour. I'm going over an hour and hour and a half. According to reports, Tony is livid. I don't blame him because I'm livid for him. It's not. It's a nice attraction. If you like it, that's great. I'm not going to steal anybody's joy with that, but it's not up to the Disney standard that they used to hold themselves to. And that's very, very obvious with this attraction and with how they're previewing this attraction. Hey, Steve, how you doing? Hi there, Lorena, you honey muffin. I hope you're well today. Well, I am very well. Hope you're doing well, Steve. Always good to see you. Always good to see you. And BR Guy says, poor Tony. At least Walt isn't alive to see how his dream has been destroyed, but Tony is. I feel so bad for Tony Baxter. I really do. Something tells me they didn't want to listen to Tony Baxter. You should have listened to Tony Baxter. That Park Place. Hey, Jonas says I'm late, but I'm finally back to my desk. So glad I could be here. Yeah, we're starting to wrap up a little bit. Ron has a premiere POV video of the attraction ride through of Tiana's Bayou adventure. So folks, you do not want to miss that. I'm sorry I ran over. And my POV video is going to release a little bit later this evening. The only way I would re-ride is if the water is working. Otherwise, I might not ride at all. I want to get soaked in the flume ride. Yes, Izzo, I have not seen this attraction run with people in it with the water working. And that's what they need to do. If they do not get that water working, that's a problem. Because that's the thrill thing. And it's not in there yet. Andrew Yakos, hello, and welcome. Says, good afternoon, all friends. How about the reused cast member costumers for the loading area? They are basically the Splash Mountain pattern. And look, yeah, it's funny. It's funny you say that. Let me see if I can find it here. So I want to show you guys where it is. Do I have that part there? I think I do. I'm trying to find where the cast member is. Do I have it here? No, I don't. Okay, I missed that. But yes, it's like what changed? They just gave him like a necktie, and that was a necktie and a hat. That was pretty much it. Steve Kenobi says Lorraine is my Disney attraction. You're so sweet, Steve. Theme Park Express said that his eyes stung after riding. Something wrong with the pH levels. I didn't experience. Well, let me take that back. I didn't. It may have been because I had my polarized sunglasses on. So whatever was in the water didn't get to my eyes. So I can't say for sure because I wore my sunglasses the whole thing. And I know Ron had glasses on as well. So I'm not really sure. So how did the Bayou ride go there? It's a ride. It's too fast to be a Bayou ride. It's a ride. It's just, it's there. It's going to be a one and done. Kids will be interested in it because it is colorful. It's very, very colorful, but no repeatability on it whatsoever. Yes, Ripsaw Falls is open, and yes, I need to get to Ripsaw Falls. I really do. Everybody loves watching Ripsaw Falls and the drop from the Jurassic Park water ride too. serious splash zone over there. Let's see. BR Geist says it feels like they let everyone submit ideas for the ride and didn't want to hurt any feelings by picking some over others. So they patched together a bit of every idea and made this disjointed mess. I don't think you're wrong at all, BR Geist. It's just like, put this in there, you put this in there. Yeah, I like this idea. We're going to put this in there and just let it fly. It's so freaking disjointed. It's a shame. It's a shame. Ronan Bunny Low says they're probably going to ruin Indiana Jones at Animal Kingdom next. It is so sad how much Disney has fallen from grace. Yeah, with the current crop of Imagineers, I'm not too optimistic. I would love to be proven wrong. I really would, but yeah, I really don't. And I have gone on the Indiana Jones attraction at Disneyland. That queue is freaking amazing. I want to say the closest thing to the queue for the Indiana Jones attraction over in Disneyland would be the Revenge of the Mummy coaster at Universal. That good. And yes, follow the Bradleys, but it is like a speedboat down the Neve River. It really is. I don't know why. Oh yeah, I know why they're speeding this up to get people through, but they're getting people through at the cost of the value of the experience. And to rob your guests of that experience, it's really disingenuous. It really is, especially considering how much it costs to go to that park. That park place says, wait now, Lorena. I heard this ride perfectly simulates the peace of floating down a gator infested bayou in the dark. How could it be too fast? Oh, well, it is. It feels like you're in a speed bait. Oh, hey, Ron.
I popped back.
Oh, did you reschedule it?
I was not able to reschedule, but I think the redirect would still go over to it. Just won't be a premiere anymore. But
Oh,
the
okay.
redirect,
Okay.
you'll still be able to. I mean, it'll probably pop up after this. But if people want to
Okay.
go over there, they're more than welcome to.
Okay, good. Yes, yes. This will automatically send you over there whether you want to or not. So that's good because I did want people to go from here to there. And yeah, it is. It's like you're trying to get through there so the gators don't know that you're in your attraction at all. It's crazy. You don't get time in the space to enjoy it. Yeah, I'm supposed to do Ripsaw Falls this summer. I keep missing it.
We went about a month ago, maybe 2 months ago, and went with my sister from Amsterdam, my niece from Amsterdam. You do get soaked on that ride. Now, I'll be honest, that ride does not have a great queue either. But the ride itself is fun and it feels like a log flume is supposed to feel, and it gets you soaked. And then at the bottom of it, you have the drop, and then you have bump, bump.
Yeah.
And it's a really fun flume ride. So
Yeah. People love watching people come over that drop and then go bouncing up and down.
it has a story along with it that makes sense of why you're there in the first place. And
Mm-hmm.
and that's even pre Harry Potter days, so it's not like that was something new that the new Universal, I don't know, they don't call them Imagineers, but whatever they are. But even back then, it was minorly competitive to Splash Mountain. Now I believe it is superior to
Wow.
to the Broccoli Falls.
The Broccoli Falls. Well, I'll be over there Sunday. I can't wait. Yeah. Can't wait to try that out.
And ride Popeye. Ride the bilge rat barges. If you want to get
Yes.
just man, I'm telling you. What we did our strategy that day was do all the water rides first so that we could have the rest of the day to dry, which doesn't work when the humidity is 100%.
No. So that there are like huge dryers. I think it's like $7 and it just like blasts you dry. Yeah, there's plenty of them around Islands of Adventure. BR Guy says they're going to talk up the fifth gate to alleviate investor concerns about Epic Universe, but I won't believe it until ground is actually broken. Yeah, it's just don't forget about us. I mean, we know Epic Universe is coming, but we're doing stuff. It is. It's just talk. I mean, even if they started breaking ground tomorrow, how far are they behind Epic Universe?
Not to mention the fact that, I mean, if anyone's seen the plans for Epic Universe, it blows everything out of the water.
It does, which reminds me, and I saw this. Let's see, was I smart? Okay, yeah, I was smart. I'm gonna show you guys this really quick. This is from Bayou Reconstruct, and if you're not following him, you need to because he does all kinds of aerial photography over at Epic Universe. This is the portal to Dark Universe. So this blue top right here, this is the Pan-Asian restaurant, the Blue Dragon, which I cannot freaking wait to go to. This is part of Celestial Park. And then you have the portal to the Dark Universe, Universal Monsters Land and all that. Look at how detailed that is. I mean, but just with the dead vines and everything, it's wow. It's freaking amazing. Absolutely amazing. Yeah. Between the US parks and Tokyo. And I think it has a lot to do with the fact that it's not 100% owned by Disney. I think it's the Oriental Land Company. Fantasy Springs looks freaking gorgeous. Disney Sea is one of those that's on my bucket list to go to Tokyo Disneyland and see because it's just so flipping gorgeous.
Oh, and also because they have Splash Mountain.
Yes. Let me put it this way, it is no joke. Okay, I literally just ordered a well, not yet, it's on my semi cart, a tourist guide for Japan because trust and believe there are people who were just like, you know what, we're gonna have to go to Japan to see the original version of Walt's original vision of Walt Disney World. And will you be there? Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Ron.
No, and like that's actually kind of crazy to think of that the most authentic Disney park is going to end up being in Japan.
Mm-hmm. It's crazy. It's nuts. But trust me, there's a lot of people who are just like, let me see if I can go to Japan, which is why I'm jealous of Barry Place 28 because he's going to Tokyo Disneyland next year. I'm so darn jealous. Will you be there for the opening of Epic Universe? Yes, I will be. I am hoping. I'm not saying I'm a betting person, but I have a reservation for the Stella Nova Resort, which opens January 25th. I believe they're going to open Epic Universe to pass holder previews between then and probably like a month or so before the park opens to the public. I really think that's going to happen. So yeah, trust and believe. I will be there. I will be there. I can't wait for the opening of Epic Universe, especially for pass holder previews. It's gonna be insane. It's gonna be absolutely insane. Oh, isn't that song is awesome. It's awesome. The 2D animation in Princess and the Frog is just amazing. And we did a watch party for that, and we're just like, wow, cannot believe how fun this film is. And again, that last climb that you make up with the strobe light effects and everything, that would have been perfect to have Dr. Facilier there. And with the song Are You Ready? Oh my God, Friends on the Other Side, that would have been perfect. Absolutely perfect. Absolutely perfect. The decision makers won't listen to the Reina, and said decision makers will be oblivious after losing funds. Well, you've got people in Burbank who are in their little bubble in Burbank and think that everything should be California, and Florida's not California. And they're completely oblivious to what the rest of the country is used to seeing from Disney. And they're completely oblivious. It doesn't hurt yet enough. Doesn't hurt enough. And yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you, Jonas. I don't think that they are. And especially with Epic Universe opening, because remember, Universal hired a lot of Disney Imagineers that got laid off, okay? And they brought them into Universal Creative, which is the reason why, besides J.K. Rowling, why the Wizarding World of Harry Potter looks the way that it does. You walk in there, you know exactly what's going on, even if you've never seen it or a movie at all. It's just awesome. I love it. When is Epic Universe supposed to open? They said summer 2025, which is ahead. I heard, I forget which guy it was. I think it was on the Comcast call or something like that, that they're planning on having that open early, which I believe, because the pace of construction is insane over there, how it's going together. So I would say don't be surprised if you hear announcements about annual pass holder preview starting in February and having the park soft open in May. I mean, it's that far along. And plus the preview center is not open. It's almost open. I think they put the LED panels out, so I think that's there. I'll find out on Sunday, but the preview center is coming. And yes, I will be blogging about the preview center as well, because there's some good freaking stuff that's going to be in there. So, it's so set up going to Japan next April, even if I have to sell a kidney. Again, Universal Dork. This is what I'm talking about. Early 2025. People thought it was summer. They said early 2025. I'm telling you, that's why I got that hotel reservation for Stella Nova Resort. So let's see. Disney kicked out or pressured those on the other side of the aisle and lost that intellectual knowledge as Imagineers. Yes, that is very true. As for myself personally, I wanted to become Imagineer. That's something I always wanted to do as a kid. And then you started seeing who was leaving, people getting pushed out. Joe Rohde, who I do not politically agree with whatsoever, dude is a hell of an Imagineer. They pushed him out. Made absolutely no sense.
It tells you a lot when Tony Baxter left this project. He says,
yes,
I don't have anything to do with this.
Yes, absolutely. So that is our impressions of the attraction. So many of you guys been in here went longer than I had planned to. So this stream, once it ends, will route you on over to Ron's video so you guys can check out his POV video. Anything else you have coming up, Ron? I'll let the folks know about.
So the POV video I dropped today, because we did ours together basically. So Lorena's in my POV, and I'm in hers. And then we both have a vlog of our own individual reactions, and I think we probably honor each other's vlogs and that. So that'll probably post on Sunday. I got to do a lot of editing with that. And then I will be out at Disney on the 10th for the opening of the Communicore building in Epcot. On the 13th, definitely for our second ride through on Tiana's. Definitely on the 20th for the opening show for the Encanto show at Epcot. A lot of things going on there. There's a lot of SeaWorld stuff I will be doing too, because SeaWorld has just reopened their Antarctica. I haven't gone out there to see that yet. When they open the new roller coaster, I'll be there on the first day for that for previews. So there's a ton of stuff that I will be covering at SeaWorld as well soon. And then if you're interested in other things around Florida, check out the channel. I've got the world's largest McDonald's on there. I've got NASA on the channel. So all kinds of fun stuff. And it's from the perspective, a lot of it, most of it is from the perspective of bringing your family here. So because we have our son, our 11-year-old son is with us in a lot of the videos, and it's not just the adult perspective. It's, hey, what can they do to have fun? How are we going to include everybody? Just to give people an idea of, the more broad picture of, what families are going to do when they're coming on vacation here. This is what they want to know. So that's kind of what our channel is all about, is how you can get the most for your money, the biggest bang for your buck when you come on a Florida vacation, Disney, SeaWorld, Universal, anywhere as a family.
Very, very well said. So, folks, definitely check out Ron's channel. I'm so looking forward to doing more like cross streams and blogs with him. We have a blast out at the park. So definitely connect with his channel. As for myself, same thing. Doing a lot of vlogging with respect to Tiana's Bayou adventure. I will actually be at Epcot on Saturday, kind of snooping around the Communicore area, all of that, seeing what's new, what's going on. Then we're actually going to go crash the Beach Club Resort, so I can show you guys all the cool things that are there, especially Stormalong Bay, all the other great stuff that they have at that resort. Because one of my favorite things to do when I didn't have a whole lot of money, Disney wants you to visit their resorts. So that's why I call it resort crashing. So that's, of course, is going to be on a Saturday evening at 8 p.m. Eastern. Watch party for Disney's Mulan from 1998, the original one, the animated one. So we're going to be doing a watch party of that with Retro Nerd Girl. Monday, I will be back at the Magic Kingdom. I might pop over to Epcot. We'll see. But I will be there on Monday, so look for that. Also, I will be at Universal next week for the official opening of DreamWorks Land. In the meantime, you may see a vlog or two from me about all the great family fun to be had in DreamWorks Land, and there is plenty, absolutely so much plenty to do over there, and even a few things for the adults to do. So we'll talk about that then. So, folks, thank you so much for hanging out with us. We appreciate so many of you being here. Please do make sure that you're subscribed to my friend Ron over here. Please make sure you're subscribed to me. Please make sure that you are subscribed to That Park Place, which we are both very fortunate and grateful to be contributors to over that wonderful, wonderful community of creators. You guys take care. Stay here. I'm going to get rooted over to Ron's POV video of Tiana's Bayou Venture. Bye.